Pokemon Pearl with only fire types. Why Pearl not Platinum? Well, because Pearl has some shitty ass fire decks, aka only 2 fire types. Starly went down there after a few scratches easily. Alright, next up's the Berry fight, and well, Ember 2-shotted Starly, then Piplup went down to a lot of scratches. Yeah. It's gonna be a pretty heavily early lead for Monk. Oh yeah, also, female Chimchar. That's rare, ain't it? Kinda cool though. Alright, time to fight Rourke next up. And well, Rourke leads off with, but Monferno is level 16 and evolved, so Mach Punch 2 shots Geodude, Mach Punch 1 shots Onix, and also 2 shots Cranidos. So yeah. Oh yeah. So next up is not Gardenia, it is, what is her name? Jupiter. Or Mars, I think. Flame 1 shot Zubat, then Mach Punch 2 shots Perugly. Yeah, a firefighting type is a very good combo in the game. Alright, so after she went down, we went to probably the easiest fight in this run after Perugly dies. It's Gardenia, and surprise, surprise, that the grass type gym was a flame wheel sweep. Literally everything got 1 shot. So yeah, that was Monk. Hope. Next up is next commander. Then after that we'll finally get our next Pokemon. Alright, next up is Jupiter. She's off with Zubat. I lead off with Monk. Of course, my only Pokemon. Flame Wheel 1 shots Zubat. The next up is her Skunk Tank, and I just Flame Wheel it down, and it 2 shots her Skunk Tank after I miss one because of Smokescreen in my luck. Yeah, I hate my luck. I also got Poison Gas in the process, so that was fun. Alright, now since we beat Jupiter though, we could finally get our next team member, a Ponyta. And by next, I mean our last team member. I name it Flamval. I think I spelled that right. It's a reference. Alright, alright, berry time, by the way. Lead off with Flamval, and well, I actually was able to get it down with a few embers, but he didn't endeavor me to red hell, so let's watch out to Monk to finish it off with a Mach Punch after I missed because of double team. Like I said, my luck. Piplup went for Metal Claw, surprisingly, instead of a water type move, so I was able to take him out with a few Mach Punches. Next up is Ponyta, and since my Ponyta is still so weak, I just stayed with Monferno just to Mach Punch it down. So yeah, and last up is Roselia, and I just Flame Wheeled it and one-shotted it. Next up is, what's her name? The Fighting type gym leader, and I stomped her Meta-type a few times. Then she actually hard switched to Lucario. Then she used Metal Claw on my Ponyta for some reason. I was able to one-shot it with a Fire Blast, which is nice. And didn't miss, which is surprising knowing my luck. Alright, next up's Machoke. I swapped out to Monk to start Flame Wheeling it down. She heals. She leers me most of the time. Then I bring her into red health. She heals. She Flame Wheel Leer. Just more of that shit, and I eventually take him out. Then last up's her Meditite, which I sent back out Ponyta to finish off with a Stomp. Alright, next up is Crasher Wake. And he's actually not that hard, so I use Rock Tomb, but thanks to Intimidate, it doesn't do shit. He hits me with Brine. Then I go for Grass Knot. Then as he hits me with Dragon Rage, instead of then I hit him with another Grass Knot after he heals. Then Quagsire one-shot Grass Knot, and his Floatzel went for Pursuit and not Grass Knot. Then I Grass Knotted it. So yeah, a lot easier than it. So even though we're chasing a terrorist, Barry decides, hey, let's fight. So basically, I start killing his team with Ponyta and Infernape. I use Close Combat on Piplup on accident when I meant to go for Grass Knot, but it killed, so it doesn't matter. Ponyta, I stayed out and just go for another Close Combat, and it killed. Then last up is Roselia, and I sent out my Ponyta and just took it out with the Fire Blast. Yeah, it's a good team. Alright, time to fight Fantina. I lead off with Ponyta, and 2 Fire Blasts did in Drift Bloom, and also burned it, which was nice. So yeah, the next up after Drift Bloom is Miss Magius. I stayed in, hits me with a Side Beam, I hit it with a Fire Blast. The next turn hits me with Confuse Ray, and I missed my Fire Blast. Missed the Fire Blast, took it out with Side Beam next turn. So now Monk take it out with a few Flame Wheels, as it goes for Magically for some reason. Last up is Gengar, and I took it out with 2 Flame Wheels, even though it tried to Confuse Ray me. And that was Fantina. Alright, next up is Barry again, but this time on the Drawbridge. This is safe. His Starly finally evolved, but they didn't save it from a Fire Blast. Next up is their Piplup. I used Grass Knot, and I took it out with with a few Grass Knots. Yeah, Purple's not that heavy, but it doesn't go for a Water type move, so it's whatever. I send out Flame Ball for his Heracross, Fire Blast, and one-shots it. Last up is Ponyta, and I accidentally Fire Blasted at first, and I just took it out with a few Stomps. Yeah. Who would have thought? Ponyta's actually not that bad. It's just that it doesn't have a good level up moveset in Diamond and Pearl. It got Flame Wheel at level 15, which is nice. Alright, time to fight Byron, and who would have thought the Steel-type gym there is easy. Bronzor got one-shot by Flamethrower, Bastiodon got one-shot by Close Combat, and last up is Steelix, he got one-shot by Rapidash's Fire Blast. Like I said, who'd have thought the Grass and Steel-type gyms are easy in the Fire-type only Pokemon run? No shit, right? Time to fight Saturn, and he starts off with a Kadabra, One stomp takes it out though. Next up is his Toxicroak, and I hit it with a Fire Blast, and that kills it. And last up is his Bronzor. I send out Infernape, and I just use a Flame Wheel. Yeah. This is basically just a dual Pokemon run, but I like it though. Alright, next up we're rematching Mars Bars. I use Rock Tomb Motor Golbat to bring the yellow health, and she's with Toxic. I go for Flame Wheel to take it out. Next up is our Bronzor. I use Flame Wheels on it to take it out. Flame Wheels as an Iron Defenses. And last up is our Perugly, and it gets taken out by Close Combat. Ah, good old Infernape. So busted. Alright, time to fight Candace, and who would have thought? The snow type, the ice type gym leader was a sweep with Fire Blasts and Flame Wheels. Yeah. I like Candace. In the anime, Candace was dope, but Ice Aqua did it. That's where that's from, I'm pretty sure. God, Diamond and Pearl's a good anime, but goddamn, it had such bullshit in it. And your Medicham, I'm wrong, because the only thing that posed somewhat of a threat is because it was not an Ice type. But, you know, that was like between two Flame Wheels. Alright, time to fight Cyrus for the first time. He's off of Murkrow, lead off of Flame Wheel. I hit with the Fire Blast and I one-shot it. Golbat goes down to one Fire Blast, too. Ooh, and last up is his Sneasel, and well, Fire Blast. Yeah. Alright, time to fight Saturn again. He leads off with Kadabra, same as before, one stop took it out. Bronzor, I hit it with a Fire Blast and I one-shot it. And last up is his Toxicroak, and I send out Monk and I use Flame Wheels on it to take it out after he eats its berry. And goes for Exeter for some reason. Yeah, the AI in this game is weird. Alright, time for the most annoying fight in most runs in Gen 4. Well, I guess Diamond Pearl runs. The double battle. So I just Flame Wheel one, the Bronzors, they both extrasensory Monk. And then I Flame Wheel the other one to take it out. Then Munchlax takes it out. Oh, Bronzor went out with the Body Slam. Next up's Perugly and Skuntank. I go for close combat on Perugly to take it out one shot. And then I don't know what. Then Perugly Poison Jabs Munchlax. I use close combat on Skuntank to take it out one shot, but I get taken out by an Air Cutter. The next up is I send out Rapidash and I Fire Blast their Golbats. And that's the end of that fight for the most part. And Munchlax is being the bitch it is, fucking healing itself. But yes, we eventually did take him out. He had to send out Staraptor to get that one clean shot one kill. Alright, Cyrus time. Leads off with Honchkrow, lead off with Monk, because that's what I started out before. I use Flame Wheels, it hits me with a Steel Wing for some reason. Go for Flame Wheel again, I burn it, and then I use Flame Wheel again to take it out. Next up's Gyarados, but Gyarados being tanky it is, with Grass not didn't kill it, it took me out one shot with Aqua Tail. Same thing with Rapidash, I used Stomp, but it took me out one shot with Aqua Tail. Alright, come back to level 55. Fire Blast, one shots, two shots Honchkrow, but I use Stomp to take it out. Next up is his Gyarados again. I send out Monk. I go for Grass Knot, and it goes for Giga Impact for some reason, so I was able to take it out with another Grass Knot. Crobat, I use Fire Blast on it. I get confused. For some reason, when I was at Red Health, he confused me. I started hitting Fire Blast on it, so I was able to thrust through the confusion to take it out with the Fire Blast. And last up's Weavile. One close combat did it in. And that's Cyrus' plan, ultimately defeated. Well, time to fight Volkner. See how that goes. Ooh. Alright, time to fight Volkner. He's off with Raichu, lead off with Monk. Close combat, one-shots it. But unfortunately, I get paralyzed. Next up is Octillery. I use Grass Knot on it as it hits me with Octazooka. He heals. I use Grass Knot on it again, but then he takes me out with another Octazooka. I send out Rapidash and take it out with a Stomp. Octillery out with a Stomp. Whew. Next up is his Luxor. I use Flare Blitz on it as he hits me with Crunch. Then I use a Stomp to finish him off after he eats his Citrus Berry. Last up is his Ambipom. Flare Blitz one-shots it. Honestly, it's a clean sweep. I did not expect that. Next up is Barry. He was off Staraptor. I lead off Flame Valve. Flare Blitz barely doesn't kill it because of Intimidate. Then take it out with the Stomp. Next up is his Empoleon. I switch out to Infernape to take it out for one close combat. Next up is his Snorlax, which I also take out with one close combat, which is nice. Because I put Snorlax's bulk as far as I actually one-shot it. Next up is his Heracross. Flare Blitz one-shots it. Then last up is his Rapidash, and I use close combat on it. Then Roserade, well, Roserade's a Roserade. I have two fire types. You can expect what happened there. Time to fight the Elite Four. Not before I grind. Elite Four time, and surprise, surprise, Bug Boy wasn't much of a challenge for me. Nothing but Flare Blitzes, Flare Blitzes, Flare Blitzes. Even against his Drapion, it didn't take some Flare Blitzes. Maybe for his last Pokemon, I swapped out to Infernape because fucking Rapidash basically was killing itself so much with Flare Blitz. But yes. Next, yeah, who'd have thought? The Bug type Elite Four member, which is actually a really cool idea. Goes easy with fire types. Alright, next up is Bertha. Glass Knot one-shots Quagsire. And also I also use it on Wish Cash. It's a few Aqua Tails though, but I was able to take it out eventually with some Grass Knots. Hippowdon got one shot by Grass Knot, and so the rest of their team, one shot by Grass Knot. Yeah, Grass Knot's great. It's a Fernape's a good special attacker, it's fast, and most of Bertha's Pokemon weigh a shit ton, so it's great. Then, yeah. Oh yeah, Sudowoodo went down to a close combat. Alright, time to fight Flint now, who I thought might be a bit more of a challenge, but I let off of Monk, I Rock Tombed him. I Rock Tombed Rapidash twice to take it out, surprisingly hitting both. Next up is his Lopunny, close combat one-shot it, obviously. Next up is his Infernape. I send out Flamville / Rapidash. I use Bounce, I paralyze it, then he uses Mach Punch, and I took him out, and I used Stomp, but didn't do too much damage, so I went for a Bounce. I took him out with that Bounce as he tries to go for Earthquake. Next up, Steelix. I hit it with the Flare Blitz, taking it down to red. It's used Screech. I try to use Fire Blast. I miss. I use Fire Blast again, taking advantage of Steelix's low special defense, and I took it out. Drift Blade went down to two Flare Blitzes, but with Aftermath plus Recoil, Rapidash also went down. Alright, next up is Lucian, finally 4-member. Flare Blitz, one-shot at Mr. Mime. Next up is Bronzong, that also got one-shot by Flare Blitz. Next up is his, almost his Girafarig, one-shot by Flare Blitz. Alakazam got one-shot by Flare Blitz. And last up is his Medicham, I got one-shot by Flare Blitz. Except with Infernape this time. Yeah, low defense Pokemon are bad at taking physical attacks, right? Alright, next up, Champion Time Cynthia. I use Flare Blitz on Spiritomb, then I go for another Flare Blitz as she heals, and I switched out to Infernape, because I don't feel she switched out to a Water type, but she did. I use Grass Knot on Gastrodon, but I don't kill it, so it's new with Stone Edge. Next up is Milotic. I use Grass Knot on it, bring it to half, but it takes me out with the Mirror Coat. I don't know why I went for Mirror Coat, not Start, but whatever. I sent out Rapidash, I use Flare Blitz on it, an accident, I use Aqua Ring, take it out with the Stomp. Then Garchomp comes in and takes me out with an Earthquake. Alright, rematch time. I'll level both to level 100 because I ain't playing these games anymore. Flare Blitz one-shot Spiritomb. Next up's Gastrodon. Grass Knot one-shots it. Same thing with my Milotic. Grass Knot one-shots it. I close combat Garchomp, and that actually one-shots it, surprisingly. Next up is his Roserade. Flare Blitz one-shots it. And last up is her Lucario, and Flare Blitz one-shots it. So yeah, that was Pokemon Pearl, the only fire types. You can beat it with only 2 Pokemon. They're both level 100. Probably not level 100, I just overleveled. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed, and if you have any challenges, just leave them in the comments, or just any other games you want me to play. Alright then, hope y'all enjoyed. See ya. What do I want to be ya? Actually, I would want to be ya.